Have you ever been caught off guard by a single sentence? A few innocent words that cut deeper than they were ever meant to? Nana, why do you smell weird? That's what 68-year-old Nancy Miller heard one quiet afternoon from the lips of her 5-year-old granddaughter, a child she loved with all her heart, a child who used to leap into her lap without hesitation. Now? The girl shifted away, wrinkled her nose, and chose the chair across the room instead. Nancy smiled, or tried to. But that night, under the weight of her blanket, she wept silently, wondering what she had done wrong. She'd always kept a clean home, washed regularly, and wore fresh clothes. So why did she smell? This story isn't just about Nancy. It's about millions of seniors silently wondering the same thing. It's about moments we don't talk about, like when you step onto a bus and notice the seat beside you remains empty, or when your daughter-in-law subtly cracks a window during your visit, or when your grandkids hug you with a quick pat instead of the warm embrace they once gave. They don't say it, but you feel it, that invisible wall, that unspoken discomfort. And sometimes, it smells like shame. Hi, I'm Dr. Henry Thompson. I'm 77 years old and have been a geriatric physician for over 5 decades. In that time, I've worked with over 10,000 seniors, and I've learned one thing for certain. No one prepares you for how deeply isolating something as small as a scent can be. We call it old person smell. Harsh name, isn't it? But let's not sugarcoat reality, because pretending it doesn't exist hasn't helped a single one of my patients. Here at Wise Elders Legacy, we believe in facing truth with dignity. And today, I want to gently and compassionately walk you through something that too many elders suffer in silence. Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. Almost every person over 60 develops a specific scent, and 99% of them have no idea it's there. Not because they're careless, not because they're dirty, but because aging brings changes to the body, silent shifts in chemistry, skin, glands, and saliva that manifest as scent. A scent that's noticeable to others, especially the brutally honest mouths of children. Yet no one tells you, not your children, not your spouse, not your doctor. They stay quiet out of respect, or awkwardness, or fear of hurting you. But meanwhile, you begin to notice the subtle changes. Your family visits less often. People inch away instead of drawing close. And deep down you start wondering, is it me? I want to tell you something today that might surprise you. That scent, that feeling of being pushed away, it's not your fault. And more importantly, it's not your fate. You don't have to live the rest of your golden years wondering if you smell bad. You don't have to be the grandma kids avoid, or the grandpa they only talk to from across the room. Because today, I'm going to share what I've discovered after 50 years of real medical work. Not just textbook science, but stories, struggles, and solutions gathered from people just like you. And no, this isn't another sales pitch about perfumes or creams. It's not about covering up the smell. It's about understanding it, healing it, and reclaiming your confidence. You see, we live in a culture obsessed with youth, where aging is something to hide, where commercials whisper solutions and doctors avoid difficult truths. But at Wise Elders Legacy, we believe in embracing the truth so we can transform it. And if you stay with me, just through this one video, I promise you this, you'll understand why this happens, you'll learn how to fix it, and most of all, you'll feel seen, respected, and empowered, because you deserve to be hugged. You deserve to be held close. You deserve to feel like yourself again. So, take a deep breath with me. Let's begin this journey, not just toward a fresher scent, but towards something much deeper. The quiet return of closeness, the rediscovery of joy, and the healing of something so subtle, yet so sacred. Let's dive in. Let's take a breath. Together. You're here because you're brave enough to face the truth. Now, let's understand what's really happening, beneath the skin, behind the scent, and within the aging body. Here's the thing no one ever told us about getting older. Our bodies change in silent ways, and sometimes those changes carry a smell, but don't jump to conclusions. This isn't about being dirty or neglectful. This is biology, this is time, this is life unfolding. So let me walk you through the science, not the boring textbook kind, but the kind that helps you make sense of what's happening in your own skin. The kind that makes you feel less confused and more in control. Let's begin with the first big shift. Reduced sweating. Less isn't always better. When you were younger, maybe you complained about sweating too much. Maybe you carried around a handkerchief to wipe your brow in the summer. But after 60, something changes. You stop sweating as much. And at first, it seems like a blessing. No more sticky shirts, no more clammy palms. But here's the twist. Sweat is your body's natural cleaning system. It's how your body pushes out toxins, metabolic waste, and bacteria through the skin. It's a release valve. And when that valve closes or slows way down, those same toxins stay trapped under your skin. And what do? They sit, they accumulate, they feed bacteria. And bacteria, my friend, is what creates odor. Nancy Clark, 71, once told me, "Dr. Henry, I barely sweat anymore. That used to feel like a good thing. But lately my skin feels sticky. I wash and wash, but the smell still lingers." Robert Evans, 73, shared a similar story. "Back in my 40s, I sweated buckets. I hated it. Now, I barely sweat at all. But my daughter keeps opening the windows when I visit." He looked at me, confused. So I told him what I'm telling you now. Less sweat equals less cleansing. That lingering scent? It's not your imagination, it's biology. Changes in sebum, the scent that sneaks up. Let's talk about sebum. That's the oily substance your skin naturally produces to keep itself moisturized and protected. In your youth, sebum is your skin's friend. It hydrates, it heals, and it gives your skin that healthy glow. But past the age of 50, the chemistry of sebum begins to change. It becomes richer in a compound called 2-nonenal, a fatty acid that oxidizes quickly and produces a distinct, often musty or greasy odor. And here's the kicker. 2-nonenal doesn't really exist in younger people. It starts creeping in slowly after 50, peaks around 70, and lingers stubbornly unless actively managed. This compound binds to fabric, skin, and hair. That old people smell everyone whispers about? It's often 2-nonenal. It's not visible. It doesn't hurt, but it leaves a trace. In rooms, in clothes, in memory. And that's why even after bathing, many elders still feel like the odor follows them. Because it's not just about surface-level hygiene, it's about chemistry. Dry mouth, the silent source of breath odor. Now let's head to the mouth, the place where intimacy meets insecurity. After 60, your saliva production drops by nearly half. That may not sound like a big deal, but saliva isn't just moisture. It's your body's natural mouthwash. It clears bacteria. It neutralizes acid. It keeps things in balance. And when that flow dries up, bacteria bloom. Acidity rises. Your breath begins to sour, often without you even realizing it. Linda Harris, 69, once told me she started noticing her grandchildren backing up when she spoke. "I keep mints in my purse," she said. "I use mouthwash, but something still feels off." The culprit wasn't her breath spray. It was her dry mouth. And worse, when we feel embarrassed about our breath, we tend to talk less, smile less, and connect less. We hide behind a polite distance. We lose precious moments of laughter, storytelling, and closeness. That's why I always say, oral hygiene isn't just about teeth, it's about confidence. So what does all this mean? It means that the so-called old person's smell is not some moral failing. It's not laziness or poor hygiene. It's a biological cascade of age-related changes that almost no one talks about openly. Your sweat system slows down. Waste lingers on the skin. Your sebum shifts. Oxidized fats produce new scents. Your saliva decreases. Bacteria grows. In the mouth. And when all these come together, they create an invisible signal that others pick up on, often before we do. But here's the hopeful truth. What's caused by chemistry can also be managed by care. In the next part of this video, we'll explore exactly what you can do, practical, daily steps, to reverse or minimize these smells. We'll look at simple shifts that restore confidence, reconnect you with loved ones, and remind the world your presence is still beautiful, still vibrant, and still worthy of closeness. Because aging doesn't mean fading, and a scent should never come between you and the people you love. So stay with me. What's coming next might just change how you care for yourself and how others experience you forever. You're watching Wise Elders' Legacy, a place where aging is honored, truth is told gently, and every elder's dignity is protected. Subscribe now and join thousands of others rewriting what it means to grow old with grace. Now that we've peeled back the curtain on the why, let's gently walk into the how. Because understanding is only half the journey. What truly changes things is the practice. You don't need expensive products. You don't need to turn your bathroom into a science lab. You just need to make space for a few quiet, intentional rituals that help your body do what it's always tried to do. Cleanse, renew, and restore. These aren't big, flashy solutions. They're humble, gentle, but powerful. And over time, they change everything. Not just your scent, but your energy, your comfort, and your relationship with those around you. Let's begin with the first. 1. Drink warm water. Let your body breathe from the inside. It might sound too simple to matter, but if there's one thing I've seen make a difference in thousands of patients, it's this. 6 glasses of warm water a day. Not cold, not iced, not flavored. Just warm, as close to body temperature as you can comfortably drink. Why? Because warm water acts like a quiet broom, sweeping toxins from your system through your kidneys and skin. It activates your digestion, stimulates circulation, and gives your organs the hydration they desperately need after decades of loyal service. And the timing matters. Start with 1 glass first thing in the morning, before coffee, before breakfast, before your phone. It tells your body, I'm listening to you. I want to feel clean from the inside out. Margaret Adams, 72, told me she was skeptical at first. Doc, I already drink tea, she said. But it's not the same, is it? It's not. Tea and coffee are diuretics. They dehydrate you, stealing more water than they give. But warm water, it gives. Softly, steadily, silently. After just a few weeks, Margaret told me, I don't know what's changed more. My skin, my digestion, or how my granddaughter hugs me longer again. 2. Walk in the light. Let the sun clean you. 2. You don't have to run. You don't have to climb mountains. You just need to walk slowly, under the sun, for about 20 minutes each day. Why sunlight? Because the sun, gentle morning, or late afternoon sun, acts as nature's antiseptic. It helps kill the surface bacteria that contribute to body odor. And when you move, even just a little, you encourage your body to sweat just enough to release the toxins we talked about earlier. This isn't about cardio or weight loss. It's about letting your skin exhale. Fred Taylor, 78, once said, Doc, my legs hurt too much to walk. I told him, just try 10 minutes. Sit halfway if you need to, but let the light touch your skin. He did. And 1 week later, he said something I'll never forget. The sun didn't just warm my back, it warmed my spirit. Walking outdoors, even slowly, does more than clean the body. It clears the mind. And when your body feels lighter, your scent changes too. Because odor isn't just about chemicals. It's about stagnation. And movement breaks that. Try it for 1 week. You'll be amazed how much better the air around you feels. 3. Bathe warm, not hot, and soak deep. Once a week, daily bathing is one of the most important things you can do to manage odor. But how you bathe matters just as much as how often. First, ditch the hot water. Scalding showers might feel good, especially in winter, but they strip away the skin's protective oils. That damage allows bacteria and toxins to cling tighter, not wash away. Instead, use warm water, around 100 to 104 degrees Celsius. Just warm enough to comfort, never to burn. Make it a gentle ritual. Use mild, unscented soap. Don't rush. Let the water be more than cleansing. Let it be a return to yourself. And once a week, take a soak. Draw a bath at exactly 100 degrees. Soak for 20 minutes. Why so specific? Because this temperature opens your pores just enough to release deep-set toxins without stressing your skin. It draws out the hidden gunk that builds in folds and creases, in scalp and soles, places often missed. Your skin will feel softer. Your scent will shift. Your breath lighter. Your body grateful. These 3 simple acts aren't just hygiene, they're sacred care. They tell your body, I see you. I honor the work you've done for me. I choose to help you feel clean, clear, and whole again. When you hydrate with warm water, walk with the sun, and bathe with intention, you're not just managing odor. You're restoring relationship with your own body, with your family, with those who once pulled back in discomfort. You're rewriting how aging smells, how aging feels, and how aging connects. Because Margaret's granddaughter started sitting closer again, and Fred no longer hears the window creak open when he enters a room. They didn't spend thousands, they just returned to something old and made it new again. Here at Wise Elders Legacy, we believe in honoring age not by hiding it, but by caring for it, gently and wisely. Stick with us in the next part, where we'll reveal the 3 most commonly missed spots on the body. Areas that, if cleaned properly, can reduce up to 90% of the old person smell almost immediately. You won't want to miss it. So far, we've explored the biology behind body odor as we age, and we've touched on gentle daily rituals that help your body heal from within. But now, it's time to get specific. Because here's the truth. I've learned after decades working with seniors. Even those who bathe regularly often miss the most important areas of their body. The very places where that old person's smell begins and lingers. It's not your fault. These are spots that are either hard to reach or easy to overlook. But they matter tremendously. And when you start giving these areas the care they deserve, the results are almost immediate. Let's dive into what I call the 3 silent zones. The forgotten corners of the body that hold 90% of age-related odor, and how to clean them properly. Skin folds, the hidden pockets of time. First up, skin folds. As we age, the skin softens, it sags, it folds in new places, under the arms, beneath the breasts, around the groin, behind the knees, around the neck, and in the belly button. And what do folds do? They trap warmth, they trap moisture, and most of all, they trap bacteria. Most people rinse these areas in the shower, but rinsing isn't enough. They need gentle, focused scrubbing with a soft washcloth or loofah, not harsh scrubbing that can damage fragile skin, but deliberate attention. Susan Brooks, 66, told me she'd showered every day of her life. But when I asked if she scrubbed under her breasts, around her navel, behind her ears, she paused. I guess I just rinsed there. So she tried something new. A warm cloth. Soft, circular motions. Gentle but thorough cleaning, especially around the back of the neck, where sebum builds up quietly. 2 weeks later, she smiled and said, I didn't know my skin could feel this fresh again. My grandkids hug me longer now. So remember skin. Folds aren't just folds, they're scent pockets. Treat them with care. Hairy areas, the scent sponge. We forget next, hairy zones, especially the scalp, underarms, and for men, the chest and stomach. Hair naturally traps sweat, oil, and odor. It's a sponge. And if not cleaned thoroughly, it becomes a subtle diffuser of scent, especially as we age and our sebum changes. Now, here's where most people make a mistake. They wash their hair, but they don't massage the scalp. That's where the bacteria lives. That's where oil builds up. So don't just lather and rinse. Get your fingers in there. Move in circles. Lift the dirt from beneath. Tom Harris, 62, followed this advice. He told me, I've shampooed my whole life, but I never massaged my scalp. That changed everything. Even my wife noticed the difference. And if you have chest or belly hair, give it the same attention. Lather, scrub, rinse fully. And this part's important. Dry thoroughly. Moisture hiding in hair is a perfect breeding ground for that musty smell no one wants to talk about. Sweaty zones, where odor starts and spreads. Finally, let's talk about sweat's favorite. Hiding places. Your feet, between your toes, and the palms of your hands. You might be thinking, palms? Yes. They're packed with sweat glands, and when not properly cleaned and dried, sweat breaks down and feeds odor-producing bacteria. But it's the feet that deserve the spotlight. Day after day, they're locked in shoes. Warm, dark, moist. That's a paradise. For bacteria. Not for you. And here's the worst part. The odor from your feet doesn't stay in your shoes. It creeps into your clothes, into your bedding, into your presence. John Miller, 68, told me his daughter-in-law always opened a window when he visited. I thought it was just stuffy, he said. Turns out, it was his feet. So we made a plan. Wash his feet daily with warm water, scrub between his toes, dry fully, especially between toes. Switch to cotton socks, changed every day. Rotate shoes to let them dry, and sprinkle a little baking soda inside each shoe overnight. 1 month later, his daughter-in-law left the window closed. He said, smiling, "I didn't just lose the smell. I got my dignity back." Why these 3 zones matter. Most you see, the body isn't just a surface. It's a landscape with valleys and hills, soft patches and secret corners. And those corners need more than a quick rinse. They need attention. They need presence. They need the kind of care we're rarely taught to give ourselves. Because this isn't just about odor. It's about connection. When you smell fresh, you feel more confident. When you feel confident, you speak more freely. When you speak more freely, you laugh more, hug more, and life opens up again. At Wise Elders Legacy, we believe that caring for your body, especially the parts no one sees, is one of the most loving things you can do. Stay with us. In the next part, we'll explore how food and oral care influence your body's natural scent, and how simple dietary shifts can transform your presence. Your next breakthrough? It might just be in your fridge. So far, we've looked outside, at the body, the folds, the skin, the rituals. But now, it's time to look within. Because your scent doesn't just rise from your skin. It speaks through your breath. It lingers through your sweat. And in many ways, it begins with your plate. Let me tell you a truth many overlook. Your body reflects what you feed it, physically and emotionally. And in this part of the journey, we'll explore 2 powerful pillars that shape your natural scent more than any soap ever could. What you eat, how you care for your mouth. Let's begin with the food, because every bite is either cleansing or clogging. 1. Eat more antioxidants. Let food fight the smell for you. You've probably heard the word antioxidants. It sounds fancy, scientific. But here's a simple way to think of it. Antioxidants are the peacekeepers in your body. They fight what's called oxidative stress, the aging process that causes cells to break down, toxins to build up, and yes, body odor to increase. Now here's where it gets interesting. Studies show that as we age, our natural defenses against oxidation weaken, and when that happens, odor-producing compounds like 2-nonenal build up faster. So what helps? Colorful foods. Foods like tomatoes, apples, blueberries, strawberries, brown rice, buckwheat. These aren't just good for your heart, they neutralize internal odors, they cleanse from the inside out. Paul King, 79, once asked me, "Doc, can an apple really make a difference?" I said, "Try 1 apple and 1 tomato a day. Give it 60 days. He did. 2 months later, his granddaughter whispered, "Grandpa, you smell like sunshine now." He called me, laughing and crying at the same time. 2. Don't fear garlic. Use it wisely. Now let's talk about a surprise hero, garlic. Yes, garlic. Most people assume garlic causes body odor. And yes, eat too much raw garlic and it might. But dig a little deeper and you'll find something fascinating. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, a natural antibacterial and antioxidant that, once digested properly, actually fights the bacteria responsible for body odor. So here's the key. Use garlic in moderation. Cook it gently, or blend it into soups and sauces. 1 or 2 cloves a day is enough. Nancy Miller, 68, added half a clove of garlic to her lunch and dinner daily. 3 months later, she said, "My husband still doesn't like the smell of raw garlic, but even he admits my body smells fresher." And for the first time in years, my granddaughter hugged me and stayed on my lap. It's not magic. It's microbiome. Science done right. 3. Hydrating fruits and veggies. Your body's natural deodorant. Want to go a step further? Think watery produce. Foods like watermelon, cucumbers, pears. zucchini, tomatoes. These fruits and vegetables flush toxins through your kidneys, cleanse your skin from within, and reduce the heavy load your sweat glands carry. Struggling to eat enough produce? Blend them. A daily smoothie with half a cucumber, 1 tomato, and some fruit can be the difference between feeling dull and feeling light. Nancy Miller told me, I didn't just smell better, I felt better. And somehow, that made people want to be closer. 4. Clean your mouth, like you mean it. Beyond just brushing, let's shift gears. Because the second half of this equation isn't in your kitchen. It's in your bathroom mirror. Your mouth is a scent factory. And unfortunately, after age 60, saliva production drops by up to 50%. And saliva, my friend, is your body's natural mouthwash. Without it, bacteria grow rapidly, especially on your tongue, a place many people forget to clean. Brushing your teeth twice a day isn't enough. You need to scrape your tongue. Daily floss at least once. Use sugar-free gum with xylitol to stimulate saliva. Linda Parker, 73, told me she nearly gagged the first time she used a tongue scraper, but she stuck with it. Now, she says, I can't imagine skipping it. My breath is fresher, my confidence is back, and confidence is one scent people are drawn to. 5. Cut back coffee and alcohol. They smell through your skin. This one's tough, but necessary. Both coffee and alcohol dehydrate your body, slow your digestion, and worsen odor through your breath and your skin. Alcohol breaks down into acetaldehyde, a compound that exits your body through sweat and has a strong smell. And coffee? It dries your mouth, feeds bacteria, and adds bitterness to your breath. George Carter, 71, used to drink whiskey every night. I thought it was just part of winding down, he said. Then he switched to barley tea. 1 month later, his wife said, You smell like the man I married again. 6. Eat more fiber. Clear the waste, clear the scent. Last but not least, fiber. If you're constipated, waste builds up in your gut. And when it stays too long, toxins get reabsorbed into your bloodstream and exit through your skin. Brown rice, oats, beans, leafy greens. These are your allies. Margaret Evans, 77, told me, Doc, I've been constipated for decades. Started eating brown rice and miso soup in the mornings. Now I go daily. And oddly, even my body odor changed. Fiber clears the pipes. And when the inside is clean, the outside smells like home. The scent of a nourished life. You see, this isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing daily alignment between what you eat, how you clean, and what you believe you deserve. You deserve to smell like care, like presence, like someone who still honors themselves deeply. Because food isn't just fuel, it's fragrance. And oral care isn't just hygiene, it's a statement of self-respect. At Wise Elders Legacy, we believe that the scent of age can be sweet when you feed it with wisdom. Next up, we'll look at one of the most overlooked causes of body odor: your clothes, your bedding, and the spaces you live in. Don't miss it. Sometimes fresh living means starting right where you sleep. We've talked about the body. We've talked about the diet. We've even talked about the breath. But what if I told you that sometimes the reason people think you smell isn't your body at all? It's your shirt, your pillowcase, your favorite pair of shoes. Yes. Your environment can quietly store and spread odor even after you've bathed, eaten clean, and cared for yourself. And if you're not paying attention, it can undo everything else you've worked so hard to improve. Let me walk you through it. Gently, practically, and without shame. Because you're not alone in this. 1. Change clothes and underwear daily. No exceptions. It might sound obvious, but for many seniors, especially those living alone, laundry isn't a daily priority. Energy is lower. Water bills matter. And let's be honest, when clothes look clean, it's easy to think they're fine. But here's the hard truth. Your clothes remember everything. That cotton shirt you wore yesterday, it still holds your skin oils, your sebum, your sweat, even if you didn't feel sweaty. And when those clothes are reworn without washing, the scent amplifies. Robert Harris, 72, told me he used to wear the same shirt 3 or 4 days in a row. Didn't see the point, he said. I wasn't going anywhere. Then one day his grandson hugged him and whispered, "Grandpa, your sweater smells weird." That changed everything. Here's the fix. Change underwear daily. Change socks daily. Change outerwear every 1-2 wears, especially in hot weather. Stick to cotton fabrics. They breathe and absorb sweat better than synthetics. And most importantly, don't save your fresh clothes for special occasions. You are the occasion. Every day is worth feeling clean and light in your own skin. 2. Wash bedding weekly. Your sheets are a second skin. You spend 1/3 of your life in bed. And during those 6 to 8 hours each night, your body continues to release oils, skin flakes, and sweat. Over time, these seep into your sheets, your pillowcases, and your blankets, turning your cozy sanctuary into a quiet source of odor. Linda Parker, 75, told me she used to wash her sheets once a month. "I live alone," she said. "I thought it didn't matter." But after just 2 weeks of switching to weekly washes, she noticed something profound. "I woke up feeling cleaner. My bedroom smelled fresher. My kids started visiting again, and staying longer." Here's what I recommend. Wash sheets every week. Wash pillowcases every 3 to 4 days, especially if you sweat at night. Sun dry if possible. Sunlight is nature's antibacterial agent. Replace pillows and blankets every 1 to 2 years. As they trap invisible bacteria and mites, think of your bedding as part of your hygiene. Not just where you sleep, but where you recharge your soul. 3. Care for your shoes and socks. Odor's favorite. Hideout shoes are perhaps the most overlooked culprit. Your feet have over 250,000 sweat glands. That's more than anywhere else on your body. And when trapped inside dark, closed shoes, well, you can imagine what happens. Foot odor doesn't just stay in shoes. It seeps into carpets, chairs, and even lingers in rooms. John Miller, 68, said he used to wonder why people wrinkled their noses when he took off his shoes at family dinners. After we talked, he made a few changes. Rotated his shoes every day so they could air out. Sprinkled baking soda inside overnight. Wore cotton socks only. Changed daily. And most importantly, let his shoes dry in sunlight. The difference? People stopped avoiding me, he said, and I stopped avoiding myself. If you wear the same shoes every day, stop now. Give each pair a full 24 hours to air out. You'll be amazed how much lighter your presence feels. 4. Air out your living space. Let the breeze reset your energy. The last piece of the puzzle isn't something you wear. It's the air you breathe and live in. Older adults tend to keep windows closed more often. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's safety, maybe it's habit. But stale air carries not only odor, it carries stagnation. Fresh air, on the other hand, carries renewal. Fred Taylor, 71, told me he hated cold mornings and rarely opened the windows. Then I gave him a challenge. Open a window for just 10 minutes, morning and night. See what happens. 2 weeks later, he said, "My room doesn't just smell better, it feels lighter." Even my daughter-in-law noticed. Here's your checklist. Open windows twice daily, 10 minutes each. Prioritize bathrooms and kitchens, where moisture builds up. Place bowls of baking soda or activated charcoal in musty areas. Clean vents and fans seasonally. Let your home breathe. Let yourself breathe. Because freshness isn't just about the body. It's about the space your soul rests in. Small habits, big difference. You see, odor doesn't shout, it whispers. In your clothes, your bedding, your shoes, your air, and when you care for these, consistently, lovingly, you don't just eliminate odor, you invite connection. You create warmth, you say without words, "I still matter, I still belong, and I take care of myself, not just for me, but for the people I love." That's the true scent of wisdom. That's what we believe in at Wise Elders Legacy. In our final part, we'll bring everything together, your habits, your hygiene, your home, and show how they create not just a fresher life, but a more joyful one. Stick around for the conclusion. A life that smells like love. Because this isn't just about scent, it's about returning to the heart of who you are. Let's pause for a moment. You've come with me on quite a journey. From the quiet heartbreak of a grandchild stepping away, to the hidden folds of the skin, to the bowl of warm water at sunrise, to the forgotten shoes by the door. And now, here you are. Still listening. Still choosing care. Still choosing yourself. That, in itself, is something beautiful. You see, this video was never just about old person smell. It was about what it means to age with awareness. To age with intention. To age with dignity that doesn't need to shout, because it speaks through scent, through softness, through presence. What you've learned isn't just practical, it's powerful. Let's take a breath and remember what we've uncovered together. The science of scent, how your sweat, your sebum, and your saliva shift with age. Foundational fixes, warm water, sunlight, daily showers, weekly soaks. The 3 secret zones, folds, hairy areas, sweaty spots that quietly hold odor. Food and mouth care, antioxidant-rich meals, tongue scraping, hydration, your fabric world, clothing, bedding, shoes, and the sacred space you live in. Every one of these small changes, they whisper to your body, you're worth taking care of. Small steps, big ripples. You don't need to change everything overnight. Maybe today you start with drinking warm water. Tomorrow, you toss your pillowcase into the wash. By next week, you're walking in morning sun, massaging shampoo into your scalp, and blending a tomato into your breakfast smoothie. And then, you notice something subtle. Your grandchild lingers a little longer on your lap. Your son stops cracking the window open. Your spouse leans in when you talk. And, most importantly, you start leaning back into life, into joy, into the quiet power of being seen and smelled, and still loved. Because the truth is, you never stopped being lovable. Sometimes we just need a little guidance back to ourselves. A new scent of self. The scent of old age doesn't have to be musty or distant. It can be clean, warm, like fresh linens drying in the sun, like apples and barley tea, like the person you've always been, wrapped in wisdom, softened by time, but still very much alive. At Wise Elders Legacy, we believe growing older isn't about hiding who we are. It's about revealing ourselves layer by layer, with care. Because dignity isn't a look, it's a practice. And love? Sometimes love smells like lotion on your hands, like lemon in your smoothie, like lavender on your sheets, like you. Fully, present, freshly restored, and deeply respected. What now? You're called to care so. Here's your invitation. Choose just one thing from this video. Maybe it's soaking in a warm bath tonight. Maybe it's tossing out that old pair of socks. Maybe it's whispering to yourself in the mirror, I'm not fading, I'm evolving. And if you found even one part of this video helpful, let us know. Leave a comment. Share your story. Tell us what you're changing. Because when one elder steps into clarity, others follow. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We're building something here. A place where age is honored, knowledge is shared, and you're never too old to feel fresh, loved, and whole. This is Wise Elders Legacy. And your legacy? It starts with one choice, one glass of warm water, one scrubbed corner of skin, one breeze through your window. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing love. And we'll see you in the next video.